Welcome back to Primetime Local News and our sports panel with Bucky, Greg Buchanan, and myself, talking all things local, maybe a little pro later on in our segment here. But things are starting to wind down now, just before the Christmas break. Everyone having a time off for holiday. Last weekend of action for the Rustlers. Still a little bit of hockey to go, and an interesting mix of good and bad from junior hockey this week.
Yeah, for the Bobcats, a good win Saturday against the Calgary Canucks, a Canuck team that's kind of beat up right now, and they're in the bottom of the standings in the South Division. They come in kind of limp into Lloyd, only had 4 defensemen on that night. But, you know, credit the Bobcats, came out, put their head down, got to work, and got some goals. And more than anything, that's a confidence booster for a team that really needs confidence. You know, the next night, Drumheller comes to town that Sunday afternoon, and hats off to Drum. They go into Fort Mac, win Friday, go into Bonnyville, win Saturday, come into Lloyd, get a 4-1 lead, kind of had to hold on with all might because the Bobcats came out hard in the third period. Only had 10 shots on goal for the first 40 and really took control of the game in the third. Couldn't buy a goal, finally did get one, but Drumheller wins 5-2. So, you know, a good and bad kind of weekend for the Bobcats.
Yeah, and you'd love to see them play with that kind of energy. Obviously, the fatigue part of the effect there for Drumheller, but you'd love to see them play with that sort of pressure all the way through those 60 minutes. They've had a real tough time getting that energy at the top of the game in the first period.
Yeah, you don't know what it is. They didn't have, had a decent start against the Calgary Canucks, not a really good start against Drumheller. But again, you're playing on a Saturday night, and then you turn around and you're playing at 2:30 in the afternoon, less than 24 hours later. You know, fatigue may have set in for the Bobcats early on in that game, and finally picked it up. But more than anything, Nigel Dubé is making his mark on this team right now. They're going to be a hard-working team.
Yeah, they're definitely skating better than they have in recent years. Staying with junior hockey, of course, your Lloydminster Bandits, coming off of a 1-game weekend a week ago where they beat the Cold Lake Ice. Now another 1-game sample against the Killam Wheat Kings, and a win, but not quite as pretty, I'm sure, as you and many others would like.
Yeah, hey, you know what? You go into Killam. Killam is a big physical team, and they're even bigger and they're more physical when they play at home. Killam had a 4-2 lead going into the third. Bandits, to the credit, come out strong in the third period, and they win it overtime 7-6. You don't really want to give up 6 goals, but it's a good thing you scored 7. As long as you score more than the other team, it's a good night, and it was a good night for the Bandits. Tough test this coming weekend. Wainwright comes to town on Friday. St. Paul's in town on Sunday, and of course Wainwright, the top dog in that league right now. So good test for the boys on Friday and Sunday.
Absolutely, and this past weekend was the last weekend of the year or the calendar year anyway, for the Lakeland Rustlers. Volleyball already being done. Men's and women's basketball sweeping the Grand Prairie Wolves. They both finished the season, finished the calendar part of the season on a 4-game win streak. So good to get back to at least 500 for both teams.
Yeah, definitely. You know what? They go into the Christmas exam time, and it's great to see both teams with a lot of confidence. You're just talking about with the Bobcats getting that win Saturday against the Calgary Canucks, building up confidence. The men's program looking very good against Grand Prairie, the women's program too against GP. So it's good to see both on a roll going into the Christmas break, almost to a point where do you really want to go on a break when you're on a roll like that? 4 straight wins, but regardless of that, they get ready for January, and you know, you hope the second half of the season kind of takes over where it left off in the first half.
And I'm sure Coach Sheree Thomas with the men's team will want that too, as he picks up 3 or 4 new guys come January. So it'll be a new look offense and defense for that program. We'll be back in the next hour on Primetime Local News.